Hi everyone, and welcome to the SOPA SOYO Multi-Sports Training Camp. My name is Jennifer Tresp, and I am the Training and Unified Sports Director for Special Olympics Pennsylvania. But at Sports Camp, everybody just calls me Jen. So what is SOPA? Special Olympics Pennsylvania is what SOPA stands for. We're an organization that provides people with intellectual disabilities the opportunity to train and compete in Olympic-type sports. Our youngest athlete is 12, and we have no age limit for Special Olympic athletes. So in this video, you might see some athletes who may look a little older to you. I believe our oldest athlete who comes to camp is 66 years old. Now, 50 years ago, Eunice Kennedy Shriver founded Special Olympics. She felt that people with disabilities could do more than people gave them credit for. So she had a sister named Rosemary, and Rosemary was a good friend to her, and they loved to play sports together. They could often be found sailing or playing tennis. So I believe that Rosemary was the reason that Eunice founded Special Olympics. She held the first Special Olympics event at Soldiers Field in Chicago. At that event, they played athletics, floor hockey, as well as swimming. There were 26 states who participated in the games, along with one Providence up in Canada. From that event, we have now built and we've grown so much that when we get together at Soldiers Field in Chicago, you'll find 193 countries participating. So, welcome to Sports Camp. How did we get started with Sports Camp? That's an easy one. So Father Anthony and his cousin Ken were teen SOYOs at the time. This was back in 1978, and they thought the camp could be doing much more for the people in the community. So they had a great idea, and they jumped on a train, and they went to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where they met up with the president of Special Olympics Pennsylvania and pitched the idea of a training camp for people with intellectual disabilities. The first camp was held in 1980. Believe it or not, we'd be having our 39th anniversary in 2020. But camp wasn't held for 2 years, and the reason was because we had a date conflict. We couldn't find the time for the camp to be able to host Special Olympics because we were at an international competition that summer. The other reason we didn't have camp was the swine flu was taking place, and it was very contagious, and people couldn't come to camp. Wait a minute, it also sounds just like this year, with everyone having the coronavirus, and it's not safe for us to come to camp. So again, we'll be virtual, just like you are. How about the facts of camp? So camp is 7 days. The athletes arrive on Sunday, and they leave on a Saturday. We have over 200 athletes from Pennsylvania who attend camp, along with their 50 coaches. So those would be SOPA coaches. Then, of course, we have 50 teen SOYOs who attend. Now, they're from the United States as well as Canada. So we normally have one coach for every 4 athletes. But when we have SOPA coaches and teen SOYO coaches together, we have 2 coaches for every 4 athletes. We have 15 staff behind the scenes who take care of making sure everything happens and camp runs smooth for the athletes as well as the coaches. And of course, we have millions of miles of smiles at camp. You never see an athlete with a grumpy face. We offer 12 sports. The first is athletics. Now, you may know athletics as track and field, okay? The athletes throw the shot put, They run along the walking path at camp, and then we also throw the mini jab. The mini jab is what you're seeing that young man holding. It's green with the red tip. So it's made of a heavy plastic. It has a rubber tip on the bottom, and you throw it just like you would throw a javelin. But it's much safer to throw than a javelin. We play basketball and bocce. I don't know how many of you have ever played bocce, but we love it. There are 3 new courts at camp. They were built in the last 2 to 3 years. You'll see they have a wood frame, and the surface is made of crushed stone. The idea is to get your bocce ball, whether you're red or green, you roll it, and you try to get close to what's called a polina. It's a little yellow ball that is on the court, and your job is to get your bocce ball as close as possible to that polina. You get points for how many bocce balls you have close to the polina. We also love to go bowling, and we have a little over 25 athletes who participate in bowling. I kind of think they like going to Ligonier Lanes because there's air conditioning, but who can blame them? It's awfully hot at sports camp. We play flag football. This is our newest sport. We play down by the tennis courts at the village. Our next sport is floor hockey. We play this in the old cafeteria. We use something called a slick stick. It certainly doesn't look like your regular hockey stick. It looks like a broomstick with a felt tip. The idea is to get your stick, which is also known as a slick stick, into the puck. Our pucks are made of the material that you use on a chalkboard. The eraser part. So the eraser part is circular. It has a leather framing on it, and inside is a hole. So you want to get your stick into the hole, away from the other athletes, down the court, and in the goal. But watch out, there's always that official in the black and white stripes waiting for you to do something wrong. We also golf. Our golfers go to the Champion Lakes Golf Course just down the road from camp. We play soccer, softball, and our most popular sport is swimming. We always have a waiting list for swimming. I think it's because the water is always so beautiful blue and it feels really good on a hot day. Tennis, anyone? It is for our athletes. We go down to the Latrobe Recreation Center, and we also play on the court at the village. And last but not least is volleyball. Those are our 12 sports. Now you're wondering, what does the Team SOYOs do when they're at camp? So they have a couple of responsibilities. The first one is to meet and greet the athletes as they arrive at camp. The excitement begins as the athletes come off the bus and see the SOYOs waiting for them. The cheering can be heard all over the mountain. They're assistant sport coaches. Sometimes they're even head coaches. So their job is to help out the coach, follow the training plans, and make sure that our athletes are having a great experience. There's special events held. We do a lot of special events, which we'll tell you about in a little bit. And we often need an extra set of hands. And the SOYOs are always there to be helpful. We need chaperones. When we have time off, the SOYOs make sure that the athletes are together. They're having fun. They're being supervised in the cabins. They're up at the gimme shop or in the store. The SOYOs are right there making sure everybody is safe. During the sport time, They also were in charge of leading the warm-ups and the cool-downs. Before you play any sport, it's always wise to warm up and cool down to take care of your muscles and to prevent any sore legs the next day. SOYOs participate in all activities from the first bell in the morning till we send them to their bunks at night. And the main thing they do is have fun. This is a picture of some of the coaches and athletes at sports camp. Can you figure out what color the SOYO coaches are wearing? If you chose yellow, you're right. The SOYO coaches are in yellow and the athletes are in gray. So what does our week look like? Every year we have a theme. You'll see that our themes range from everyday heroes to are you ready for some football, Survivor, and Aviopoly. Aviopoly was for our 35th anniversary of sports camp. We took Monopoly and we made it the village. It was a lot of fun and the athletes had a good time rolling the dice to see where they were going to land. For the ready for some football, we went down to the Steelers training camp. How much more fun is that than watching the football team? Oh, wait a minute. It rained pretty hard that day, but I still think we had a lot of fun. Everyday heroes, we honored our military personnel. We got to honor our police officers and our medical teams. It was a great week, but I think our favorite week so far was when we played Survivor and one of our coaches got voted off the island. She kept leaving her supplies behind. You always have to pick up after yourself at sports camp. We always have an opening and closing ceremonies, and as you can see by the pictures, we have our own torch. The torch is called the Flame of Hope, and it's guarded by the law enforcement torch runners. Those are the police officers. They always make sure our flame is safe and secure, as well as the athletes who are carrying it. At this time, we also have an award ceremony where we receive some medals and our report cards. Yep, you heard it right. We get report cards at camp. It tells us how we're doing in our sport and what we need to work on. Our evening activities are a lot of fun and the highlight of our camp. So our favorite ones are karaoke. We love to sing and dance. It's the time of our lives. So as you can see, we bring in the big screen and bring in a karaoke DJ and off we go. We also have movie night. How much more fun can you have than having popcorn and a soda while wearing your pajamas watching a movie? Challenge night, we run all over the village trying to complete challenges in the allotted time. Our teams get points for what they find on those challenges and how they do. It's a fun night. And then finally on Fridays, we always have a farewell dance. We will dance for hours. And after we're done dancing, we'll head back to the dining hall to watch the video of sports camp. We make one each year as a memory of all the fun we have. We even get our yearbooks at that time. The yearbooks have remember whens, dedications, and pictures of everybody who was at camp. One day out of each year, we take a trip off campus. One year we went to the Altoona Curve baseball game. Then I told you already we were at the Steelers training camp. And we also spent a day at Mr. Rogers' museum. We've gone to the bowling alley and took 200 athletes and 100 coaches and staff to go bowling. That was a good time. We spent time at Ottawa Park and Soap Zone, and then we would go to the lake. The lake is also really known as the Cumahony Dam. As you can see, we play volleyball. We don't play 6 versus 6. We play 40 versus 40, and we have a terrific time doing it. Now, I understand that you have a new mascot. Billy the villager. We're really excited about Billy, and we can't wait for Billy to meet our mascot, Mr. Chipmunk. At this time, we don't have a name for him, but next week, when we have our virtual sports camp, we will have a name for Mr. Chipmunk. The athletes are going to vote on a name. Here are the 5 choices that we have. So his name would be either Champ, Chipper, Cheddar, Peanut, or Rocky. Can't wait to see what his name is. I'm getting a little tired of calling him Mr. Chipmunk. So what are our goals for the week? Our first goal is to build our sports skills. This is why we come to camp. We come to camp to train in our sport, make our skills even better, and learn some new skills. We encourage sportsmanship. You'll see a lot of high fives, fist pumps, and handshakes taking place during the week. This is Loretta. Okay? She's in the blue shorts and the gray shirt. Loretta loves sports camp, and every year I can count on Loretta to call me and remind me of how many days it is till sports camp. She'll also try to guess the theme of sports camp. It's something we keep hidden until we get closer to camp. Sometimes we send out clues to see if anybody can guess what our theme is. We build friendship and we renew old friendship. I don't know if you realize it, but Pennsylvania is 8 hours from one side to the other. So our athletes don't always get to see each other except for sports camp. So we like to get together and we like to make new friends and we like to see old friends and catch up and find out how things are going. I can't wait for Billy and Mr. Chipmunk to be really good friends too. So I'm looking forward to that. This is Krista down in the bottom. She's wearing the pirate shirt in the yellow sleeves and the black base of her shirt. Krista will text message me every day and tell me how many days it is till we meet at sports camp. Between her and Loretta, who are good friends, I can never forget or miss the start of sports camp. And last but not least, we love to have fun. Everything we do, we try to have fun with it while we learn our sports and we learn our sportsmanship and we meet our friends. It's all fun. You very seldom will see a sad face at sports camp. So thank you. Thanks for letting us tell you our story of what we do at sports camp. We're looking forward to coming back next year to the camp when everybody can do it safely. Thanks so much and have a safe week.